So lifespan is limitless. When we speak about a date of birth or time of death, the really just notion. To say we have a lifespan is also just a notion. The label and signal are conventional designations that are useful at the level of relative truth, but they are not the ultimate truth, and they are not the reality. If we are afraid of or angry or sad about that, if we are still caught up in our increasing notion or birth and death, we think that means that nothing from something will become nothing. But if we see on the way which world exists beyond our body constantly changing form, we realize nothing is lost, and we no longer feel so angry and afraid. When a cloud becomes rain, we may be tempted to say that the cloud had died, but we know the cloud true nature. It true oh hasn't died at all. It become rain. If we want to see the true nature of the cloud, we have to free ourselves from the side cloud. The dying of a cloud is at the same time the birthing of the rain. If the cloud did not die, how could the rain be born? But the cloud need not wait until that moment in order to see the birth of the rain, because like Earth, the cloud is dying in every moment. Let's say you heat water in a kettle. As the water heats, some steam already begin to form. There is a more rapid transformation as the temperature reaches to 100 degree. Let's say you heat water in kettle and the water heat, some steam already begin to form, and more water transforming into evaporator. Evaporation is one the death of water and the birth of vapor, which later become cloud in the sky. The same is true for us. Sometimes there is slow transformation and sometimes there more abrupt transformation. We don't need to wait until the water of our life is near 100 degree to see this. By then it may be too late. We should take time now while we still alive to understand living and dying in order to free ourselves from anxiety, fear, and sorrow. Whether we are dying quickly or slowly, it's all the same. With it inside, the quality of our life become richer and we appropriate every moment. One day live deeply with it inside may be worth more than 1,000 days without it. It's the quality of life that important, not how long we live. So something about this. Let's say you hit water and water sometimes a slow transformation and sometimes it more abrupt transformation. We don't need to wait the water outline. So we don't need to wait the water. We don't need to wait. So, while we are still alive, we need to understand that we are already being transforming, and in order to free ourselves from anxiety, fear, and sorrow of what, of death, of disappear, whether we are dying quickly or slowly, inside we quality of our life become richer because we are still there. You don't need to wait until we become other line to understand this, to see this. We are transforming every moment, every day, and I think you cannot do anything about it. You just live every moment good enough. It's about our life important. When we look at a line or that, when we look at an archie, it may be difficult to imagine that it grew up, it grew out of an acorn. Is that acorn still alive? I mean, seed, the seed still alive. If it is, then why you cannot see it? Or does the acorn no longer exist? If it dies, then how come they an archie now? Yeah. The teaching on silent need help us break free from our tendency to put things into box. We usually try to fit life into one of four categories. Is it alive? Is it dead? Is it still in the realm of being? In other words, it still exists? Had it passed into the realm of non-being? Does it no longer exist? The truth is that we can fit reality into the category of existing and not existing. When we touch the ultimate truth, we see that the category of alive and dead don't apply. Whether it's to a cloud, an acorn, an electron, a star, ourselves, or our beloved one. Thus, as we need to liberate ourselves from the idea of a self or human being that different from other living being. We also need to liberate ourselves from the size and appearance of a lifespan. The lifespan is not limited to 70 im to 70, 80 or 100 years. And that's good news. The body is not the cell. You are much more than this body. You are alive without battery. So the truth that we cannot fit reality into the category of existing or not. When we touch the ultimate truth, we see that the category of alive and dead don't apply. Whether it's a cloud, a seed, an electron, a star, thus we need to liberate ourselves from the idea of a cell or human being. That's different from other living being. We also need to liberate ourselves from the size and appearance of lifespan. The lifespan is not limited to 70, 80 or 80 or until you die. The body is not the cell. The cell. You are much more than this body, and you are alive without battery. You are much more than this body. By now, you already begin to see that we are not limited to our physical body, even while we are alive. We interact with our ancestor, our descendant, and the whole cosmos. We don't have a separate cell. We are never really born, and we never really die. We are interconnected with online, and we are always in transformation. Buddhist tradition have developed many ways to visualize ourselves with our body, and one of the ways is to see that, as well as our human body, we have many other body. Some traditions say we have three, others say 5 or 7. Looking deeply, understanding the nature of empty need and silent need and the inside of interbeing, we can identify at least 8 different bodies. When we are able to recognize and explain on our body, we live our life more fully and face this, our physical, without fear. The word body here simply meaning a collection of energy, a body of energy. Modern science tells us that everything we perceive is energy. Some kind of energy we can see or detect with sense, and some we can detect with specialized instrument. There may also be type of energy we have not learned how to measure, but even so, we may be able to feel and perceive them. We have a close relationship with own 8 body. One of my students said, if I have 8 body, then I'm going to have so 8 times. It wonderful to have many body. But don't take my word for it. Investigate and see yourself.